Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I hope everything's okay in your life. In this video you will find an updated version of series I prepared in the previous years. You're in luck for listening to the explanation because I felt the need to quickly discuss the content of the video. Each video will feature an interview with a class master about either the Succession or Awakening versions of a class. All videos, including the older ones, will be available in the playlist you see on the screen. You can find the link of the playlist in the pinned comment section. The purpose of this video series is to help you understand the basic role of the class within the game. I must clarify that it is not a deeply detailed guide. You will watch an interview in a conversational style aimed at answering the fundamental questions of those interested in playing a class. The class masters featured are experienced players who have dedicated thousands of hours to their class and to the Black Desert Online. You may recognize some and not the others, but unfamiliarity does not make them bad players. All the class masters mentioned have proven themselves in Black Desert Online world. Please be respectful when sharing your thoughts. Enjoy watching. Hello guys, welcome. Today's guest is Salim for Succession Sorceress. Welcome Salim, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Hope you're doing good.
Thank you so much. May you please introduce yourself? Who are you? Where are you from? Which server are you playing at?
My name is Salim. I'm from Morocco and I play BDO on MENA server.
How did you find out of BDO and what caught you interested to stay in BDO?
I found out about BDO when it was first released. However, I never gave it a chance until a close friend kept insisting that I play it. I like the graphics, the real-time action combats, the skill requirements for PvP. That's what I really like.
Yeah, like all other class masters, like all other veteran players, they all give the same answer. The combat system is unique. Have you ever taken a break from playing BDO? If so, what motivated you to come back?
Break from BDO, no, but I do take breaks from grinding and actively playing here and there. What always gets me back is PvP or new endgame content.
How long have you been playing the class you're currently playing, the Succession Sorceress? Have you tried any other classes?
I have been playing Saxorc ever since it was introduced into the game, and the only time I play other classes is for, field bosses or some sort of speed farm, low AP spots. I basically do everything with Saxorc.
Even life skill?
At some point, yes.
Especially after the life skill integration, probably you will just play your Succession Sorceress always.
Yeah.
So, what sets the class you play apart from the other classes? What is the specific part or specific things in the... what are the special things in Succession Sorceress?
In every single MMO I've previously played, I always went with either mage or assassin classes, And I enjoy that aspect of being squishy but nimble, dealing damage while avoiding taking hits. And the Succession Sorg has both the mage aspect and the assassin. So to me, it's as if I'm playing both of my favorite type of classes in one. And that is why I never enjoy any other class. Despite the balance and all, I always play Succession.
So is your class evasion or damage reduction or both playable, and why?
In my opinion, it's just an opinion, Saxorc is forced to go DR due to the fact that we have a special evasion rate buff that is not protected. It's a huge gap, so it's hard to maintain without dying. Additionally, we don't have as many SA as Awakening, so we can survive while being DR anyway because we rely on frontal guards.
So what if PA just give some kind of protection to that evasion skill? Would you like to prefer an evasion?
Yeah, then you can play evasion on Saxorc, definitely. Yeah, if there is a way to keep up your evasion buff without having a huge gap, it's gonna be fine to play evasion.
It's because, as I remember, in Awakening, there's no problem like that, isn't it?
Yeah, Awakening can keep up that buff while being protected.
And I can say that when I fight against a true evasion, a hard cap evasion sorceress, like Awakening sorceress, they really feel tanky.
Yes.
If this Succession sorceress can be like that, can be turned into some kind of predator or something because she hits like a truck if she gets you.
I don't think so because Awakening has SA. She can deal damage while being in SA and also tanking hits with the evasion. Let's say a Succession Sorc becomes as tanky as Awakening. We're still gonna get CC'd a lot because we have a lot of frontals, So it's not like we can output the damage in SA.
I get it. Maybe at least it can give you some point, maybe survivability.
Yeah, but if you if you remember, I just said because I play Succession because I like the aspect of being squishy but nimble. I always love being able to die in one hit and not get hit.
So is your class newbie friendly? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate its difficulty? If you want, you can just compare with Awakening too.
I don't think my class is newbie friendly at all. The early and mid game are definitely not enjoyable in both PvP and PvE. I don't think it's newbie friendly.
So we talk in general about the Sorceress, Succession Sorceress. We are curious about your thoughts on PvE situation for early, mid, and end game. What are your thoughts?
For PvE, I think it's the same for early, mid, and late. Any spot that requires movement from pack to pack is going to be very difficult for us. So I think Saxorc is only viable in endgame spots where you can clearly meet the AP limit and you don't have to move between packs, Movement is a big issue.
In these days, I'm encountering with many Awakening Sorceress videos on YouTube, and Awakening Sorceress seems like S, maybe in some spot like S+, like a god tier PvE class, but can you actually feel that? Normally you said that my class is like a frontal, kind of small AoE, not like Awakening, and mobility is a problem. You said that to us, and I wonder about that. Can you actually perform like the S tier for endgame, like single target spots?
It's not like it cannot grind. You're gonna perform well, but you're not gonna enjoy it, My point is that the movement is so bad that you're not gonna keep it up for long hours, The damage is fine, protection is fine. We can recover shards by dealing damage, so it's always gonna be okay. But in spots that require movement, you're not gonna stay there for a long time.
Let's talk about a bit PvP. People probably mostly wonder about PvP because it's Sorceress. We are curious about your thoughts in PvP situation of the class. Could you provide us with a detailed information separately for 1v1, 1vx, AOS, 5 vs 5, Guild League, Node and Siege, and War of the Roses?
I think 1v1 is a thing of the past. So dual force spots are almost non-existent nowadays, and in almost all PvP modes, my role is to never pick 1v1 fights. But I'll shed like some lights on this. We don't have skills that hit enemies from behind. Okay, so against guard classes, there is not much we can do other than attempts to break their guard with pure damage. Saxorc relies on frontals. When we do that, we're like very weak against classes can damage us from behind. We don't have options to recover our resources other than dealing damage, and that itself puts us into like a long stage of being in frontals and just trying to break someone's guard without getting CC'd. In Node Wars and Siege, perfect role for Succession Sorc would be to stop the rebuilds and fight inside the enemy base. Most fun things you can do is timing iframes to avoid Flame Tower and Hawacha hits. It's just too much because let's say every single player in those siege weapons has a different rhythm. So trying to time your iframes and hit in between is in AOS. I think there is a huge issue in AOS for us and other classes. Let me start by saying this. Our iframes are not fair in time-related matchups because I can easily survive until the time runs out in almost every single match. And I think this issue is only because it's capped. When it's capped, my frontals are harder to break. I don't panic in SA, so I can safely land hits to gain shards and have access to more iframes. However, my damage is also very low. So in the end, when you see that my damage is high, it only adds up when you're able to stall with iframes, and naturally you deal more damage because you've been alive longer than your allies. So I kind of feel helpless after landing a CC due to the lack of damage, but I also feel like I can stay alive until any match ends, like very easily. So maybe if we get access to higher gear score in AOS, classes would be able to break my frontals, like they're gonna break them faster, and I'm not gonna be so confident with my SA, and I'm gonna rely more on iframes, allowing my stamina to run out faster. So yeah, let's move to War of Roses. Or do you have anything to say about AOS?
No. I mean, I just wonder, War of the Roses is the same like Node and Siege. There's no big difference, isn't it?
I had fun in War of Roses as a Saxorc, and mainly because there were so many enemies that I didn't have to chase after anyone, because I cannot run away, but I also cannot chase anyone. We can only avoid damage in a small circle around us. So having so many enemies in War of Roses made me have so much fun. So having targets to hit, that's War of Roses.
Oh, okay. So sometimes I'm thinking about Succession Sorceress is some kind of, if you ask me, compared to other classes, in PvP situation, I feel like something is missing in the class because it's some kind of assassin type of class, and every assassin class, even non-assassin classes, can do something in PvP. But I feel like Succession Sorceress is just limited, and they put it into like a small box and just jump in this box and do not go outside. At least sometimes I'm thinking you may maybe accept that, maybe you may agree that maybe with a 20-second cooldown, some kind of block jump skill, like not that much shield range, would be maybe acceptable for that class, like 20-second unprotected block jump. Because I mean, as I know, you do not have a skill that directly use or punish the front guard like at some distance. What do you think? Is it good?
We don't have like any skill that hits from behind, that's true, and we also don't have any skill that takes down the frontal, like a percentage of frontal guard. Yeah, that is very lame, yeah. But they should also be careful not to give us something that's gonna make the whole community play Saxorc, you know?
Yeah, if I remember the first release of the Succession Sorceress, oh, it was a nightmare.
Yeah, the damage was too high. Yeah, I remember.
Is there a significant strong aspect of the class you're playing, or a significant weakness? I mean, what is the strongest part of your class that you like, and what is the weakest that you do not like?
A significant strong aspect is the freedom of choice. You have so much freedom in every single scenario. It's hard to find two Saxorcs playing the same way. The timing you choose to deal damage and which skill to use is always up to you. It's very flexible and brings enjoyment all the time. For a weakness would be the lack of mobility. We are very nimble when it comes to a small circle, small areas, but we cannot chase or run away from any other class. And that also limits the places we can grind at.
I wonder about the accuracy situation of the class. As I remember, like Black Wave is one of your main damage skill, and it has like a low accuracy and low crit rate. Do you really think that one of your skills needs more stats?
We don't have any skill that deals a huge chunk of damage, but we can deal a lot of damage by combining a lot of. I think this is more like the identity of the class. So if we have skills that deal a huge chunk. We're gonna go back to like 3 years ago when Saxork was too buff, you know? So I think having a lot of skills is necessary. So we need more skills because our kit is very, very limited, but we don't need a huge damage buff. Using Black Wave for damage is not always the best. To answer your question, everyone knows that the evasion meta is the thing that needs balance and not ours. Maybe things will change with the future updates for hit rate. We're gonna have to wait and see.
Are there any classes that clearly dominate your class, and are there any classes that you can clearly dominate them? They counter matchups for you.
Any class with Q block skills that damage from behind, are counters for us, but if I had to name one, I would say Sakhash. Sakhash can instantly hit behind you or instantly teleport behind you, and the damage they deal is like very impossible to trade any sort of damage with as a Saxork unless you obviously gear check them. Any class we counter would be non-grab classes, obviously, but also like it's very limited to a certain scenario, you know? It depends on if it's 1v1, if it's large scale, if AOS.
People still didn't understand that Awakening Mayagu, but Awakening Mayagu might be way more dangerous than the Succession Hashashin maybe.
Maybe because we don't have enough players to confirm that.
For maybe like 0.0.1% of the game that they understand that Awakening Mayagu right now is even more dangerous than Awakening Draconian and Awakening Sage and all other meta classes. But people still waiting for maybe someone to show them how broken the class. Definitely a true destroyer of like a front guard or Q block type of classes, because the block jump distance is pretty high and it's instant, and it's also like the follow-up damage is amazing, air attack burst damage is amazing. I mean, Awakening Mayagu might be a little bit more dangerous than Succession Assassin for you. Maybe someday you should just seek for someone to fight with Awakening Mayagu. You will understand what I'm saying. Is there a mechanics or skill or skills in your class that you would like to be buffed or nerfed?
Yes, definitely. First, Bloody Contract, Sinister Omen, and Shard's Explosion need a rework. They are completely useless and outdated. And I also strongly believe every Succession class, dismounting is a fun feature, you know, and sadly only Awakening classes have access to it. And it feels like a waste to spend 100 like just to dismount a Tamer or someone in Node Wars, you know. The buff we all need is not actually a buff. It's a feature that everyone has. Small 10%, like 20% BSR skills is gonna be good.
You may be right that the extra BSR skills for Succession and extra core skills for Succession, it might be a little bit spice up the game. I don't know.
For example, have you ever met a Tamer riding the pet in Node Wars or Siege?
Yeah, it's untouchable, isn't it?
Yes. You can hear it with like 20 people and not deal anything. So you're obliged as a Succession to waste your 100% just to get him off his. That is so bad.
So, we talk about it in general, like for Succession Sorceress. Can we get a brief summary of the good and bad things in your class can offer to an average player? Let's say that I want to play that class, and what that class can offer to me. What should I just expect from that class?
You can expect anything one would expect from a mage and assassin at the same time, but don't expect to have like a combo screenshot that you're gonna work on, like a full rotation that you're gonna master. Like I said before, the class gives too much freedom and too much judgment for the player in every single scenario, to the point where you're gonna always have room to improve or make better. So if you're the type who likes to know things before playing, you're not gonna like Saxon. It takes too much time to get used to it.
What are your thoughts on BDO's current situation from past until now? Do you actually like the situation of BDO right now?
It's the only game I know that gets as many updates weekly. It's definitely getting better.
So let's say that you are the new Mr. J, like in tomorrow. What would you like to add to the game? One thing to add and one thing to remove.
I would like to bring back the GVG, you know, the old Guild War system.
Yeah, declare war system, okay.
Yes, the one thing to remove would be guild protection.
What is guild protection?
Your guild can give you that forces people to use Alt-C in order to kill you. And in the past, some guilds were abusing that so that their members, instead of getting the protection to avoid getting killed by others, they abuse that protection to grind with you and grief you.
Yeah.
That is like the worst part.
I think they can actually bring them back, because they bring that like if you touch someone and if the guy is just die to the mob, your karma lose and the guy lose nothing.
Let me just explain this topic. You know, the old GVG system also had a way to protect safe guilds, and that is node wars. You cannot declare on a guild that doesn't own a node while you own a node. That itself is like a huge layer of protection. So the new players and the PvE players claiming to suffer from that mode, why are they in like node war guilds? That is my main concern, you know? How is a PvP guild complaining about PvP? I think Marnie solved a lot of issues for people who have very limited time and they spend it doing PvP when they don't want to. That's very understandable. Marnie was a very good solution, but I don't know why like the layer of not owning a node protecting you from GVGs was never like mentioned before. It was a thing like for it's been on forever.
Who knows,
Yeah.
maybe in future they will just bring that declare war changes, the good protection things, maybe just improve it, and they can maybe make it unabusable.
They can like add the limits a day. They can just bring back the system that allow you to declare on a guild that doesn't own a node, have some sort of restrictions. It's fine, but
Do you
that
remember-
system was very very huge for PvP.
I mean, do you remember that they just announced something? Declaring war will be like it will be like a cost on your guild, and it will just consume all the most of the value in your guild storage. Like that was amazing. I mean, let's say that,
Yes.
for example, your guild is like extra large, and when you try to just bully some small guild in one day, you will lose maybe 10 billion from your storage. This can be something like we need some kind of that type of like limitations, some kind of restrictions.
Yeah, if the opposite guild doesn't accept, your guild loses too much funds.
Yeah.
And they also mentioned something that they never added, and that was the guild you declare on has a possibility to complete a huge guild quest in order to remove a single war. There was something like that on Global Lab, and they never like made it to the server. I think that system was like the main reason a lot of players had good memories. Even like enemies are saying that the best times we've spent together were when like we fought each other like, open world. That was amazing.
What advice would you like to give to the newbies, returnees, and the other players in the game?
My advice would be to not get attached to the progress. Keep in mind that the amount of enjoyment gaming gives us has no price. We all play to lessen stress and get enough energy to face our challenges in real life. So focus on making friends, play together, have fun as much as you can. And in the end, like all you'll ever remember is the social aspect and the things you've done together.
Okay, we are reaching at the end of the interview. Is there anything else you would like to add extra before we finish?
No, I want to thank you so much for this interview, and I wish you and your community well.
Thank you so much, guys. Salim is a streamer. He's a Twitch channel, and he's streaming in, as I know, he knows Arabic, his main language, he knows French, he knows English. If you have any question about Succession Sorceress, you can go there and say hi to him. And he, not only for Succession Sorceress, he generally helps people about in-game and everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alright guys, do not forget, BDO is just a game. Have a nice game.